From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Riffs with your host, Keith Reza.
Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review. Don't forget to become a Patreon at www.patreon.com/RazaRiffs61. Got cool benefits. You could be a Rifter for $5. You could be a Rifter for $10. And you could be a Rifter for $25. I suggest you'd be a Rifter for $25 because you get all the benefits. Victor, do you want to know what the benefits of being a Rifter are?
I'm dying to know. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're a Rifter, you get the shows on Fridays instead of Mondays and the live video and a cameo and me at the end of the show saying thanks for sponsoring the show. You're a Rifter.
It's worth it. The video loan's worth it.
Okay, excellent. That's my pitch. By the way, we've been getting some great, massive numbers last week for our episode, Adrian Martinez. I just want to say thank you so much for the support on that. It's blowing down the charts, as they say, right?
I think it's blowing up.
Oh, no, like no one listened to it, so it's blowing down.
Oh, oh Jesus. Oh, well, you know, numbers are just numbers, bro. They'll go up.
They'll go up, yeah.
Go up.
We got a great show today. The great Rhonda Shear will be here. I love Rhonda Shear. She's an old school comic. She hosted Up All Night, that TV show with Gilbert Godfrey. The Rollerblade 7, which is one of our favorite movies. Yeah, Victor's like, yeah, I like it how you said R.
I twisted my ankles, trying to be a rollerblader after that,
But no, because I didn't say your favorite movie. I said our favorite movie.
Oh yeah, the collective we.
Yeah. Like you're my gay boyfriend or something. It's our movie.
I thought I was your straight boyfriend. What's all this gay stuff?
No. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. No. If you were my boyfriend, that's gay.
Right. Yeah.
You're my straight boyfriend. It's like, no. You can't have a straight boyfriend. You know what I mean? It's like calorie-free butter. Like, no, dude, it's butter.
But she's been in everything. She's also in Galaxian. I'm going to pronounce that wrong. Galaxina. Well, how do you say that? Galax Galixina. What? Galaxin.
Galaxina?
Yeah.
Galaxina.
Galaxina. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Galaxina. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Married
with children. Hey.
Yeah, she played the hot neighbor.
Cheers, yeah. And you know what, Rhonda Shear is going to be on the show. And you know what's weird? I told my grandma I'm going to interview Rhonda Shear, and you know what my grandma said?
Yeah, or no? What she said?
Oh no, she said, "You know how many times I caught your grandfather with Rhonda Shear, like inappropriately?" And I was like, "Oh, well, thank God she didn't catch me right?" These are the jokes, people. Boom, boom.
Oh my God, we're gonna get canceled before the interview, man. This is a good one. No.
Oh no, man. I'm very excited. So yeah, man. But I like your Beavis and Butthead hat. Yeah, I noticed you wear the Beavis and Butthead hat when it's gonna be a great episode.
And then someone's gonna comment about that and the dogs in the background. So it's gonna be great.
Who's Tatiana Gardner?
I don't know. Tatiana?
Well, let's let him in. Maybe it's Rhonda.
Yeah.
All right. This is intense. So exciting.
I forgot my makeup, but pretend like I'm wearing it.
Oh, hi, Rhonda. How are you?
Hi. Okay, who's who?
Oh, I'm Keith. This is my podcast, and this is a trusty sidekick, Victor.
Okay, Victor. Hi, Victor.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, I was scared. Because your name on the Zoom says a different name, and then I thought,
Oh, yes, because I have one of my many team members who's fabulous doing it for me.
oh, nice,
Yeah, because
nice.
I'm at our office right now, which is really cool. Also, I don't know if you got my email. I just asked you. I'm waiting for a call from a doctor of mine.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, are you taping so that I could run and take the call and then pause it?
yeah. No, we're not live. We could pause
Okay.
it. We could edit it. It's all
Okay,
good.
that's
I,
cool. As long as, I mean, because I know he's gonna, they tell you late afternoon, and I just know when I'm in the middle of doing this, I'll get a phone call. And then
yeah, yeah.
when my girls are here, and they'll flirt with you in the meantime.
Oh, oh, excellent. That's cool. I like that. I can improve my flirting skills.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, because all of you young people stop flirting. Let's save this for the show.
oh, it is the show now.
Oh, it is so perfect. Okay, I like it like that. Yeah, all of you young people have stopped flirting and don't know how to flirt because it's this whole politically correct thing, and I think it sucks
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have had a career on all night if it wasn't about flirting and showing my feet and all that stuff. And so there's Victor likes feet. I can tell Victor's a foot piece person.
I mean, I'm definitely like a person, people, and people are attached to their feet and stuff. But I mean, I'm just thinking, like, thank God I didn't have to rely on my feet. Otherwise, I'd be dead in the water because my feet are pretty.
Oh, no, it's yeah. I don't think there's too many women that have foot fetishes about men's feet.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the world I'm waiting for.
So the whole thing about a foot fetish is, do you know why there's foot fetishes?
No, can you please explain?
Yeah, because so I was told this by a psychologist that told me that foot fetishes are guys' earliest memory or their first sexual urge. And it usually comes like when they're in grammar school and they see their teacher's legs under the desk, or maybe it's someone that's a cheerleader or somebody, one of their little friends, and they see their socks and shoes. So it starts really young and then they become obsessed with feet.
Oh my God.
So it's
Wow.
actually, it's kind of innocent.
Yeah.
And then it can become really weird and kinky.
Oh, wow. Well, that's very interesting. Then where did the boob fetish come in?
No, that's just normal.
Oh, that's just normal. Okay.
That's just men.
Yeah.
As this girl that did my hair today said, men are really simple. All you have to do is fuck them and feed them. And I'm like, she's right. That's really, no offense to either one of you, but
No.
but I
True.
mean,
I'm on
women
your
that-
side
hey,
on that.
a lot of women don't feed their men, but I think women that do feed their men, they get more.
Yeah, definitely. I've never divorced anyone who fed me. Let's put it that way.
How many people have you been married to? You don't look old enough to be married.
Oh no, I was just making a bad joke.
Now, wait a minute. You guys didn't watch me on all night, did you?
Yeah, I loved you on Up All Night, but I also watched you in this great movie called The Rollerblade 7.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple of other ones out there that you've never seen me in, like Earth Minus Zero. Go find that one.
Earth Minus Zero.
Really
Okay.
cute. Pat Morita's in it. It's really hard.
Oh,
to
the
find.
Karate Kid guy.
Yeah.
I saw that.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It
but
was like
after that.
Joey Travolta directed it, right?
Yes. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And another really kinky, weird one that I did. I forgot the name of it. I need Jean here. What was the name of that film? It'll come to me. Yeah, I have a producer who's very nerdy and knows all that stuff. He knows the names of all that stuff. So we're looking and trying to think of maybe rebooting All Night. I know if I don't do that, you'll get upset. So I'm going off to do Joe Bob Briggs' show in Atlanta, his last show of the season, June the 15th.
Yeah.
And so he's with Shudder Network. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know that. So hopefully if I can get in front of those people and convince them that they need to bring us back, that would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Then I could like audition the next Rhonda. I could have like all these little sexy slut puppies come on.
Yeah. And can you audition the next Gilbert? I could be the next Gilbert.
You could totally Gilbert. I mean, I don't think anybody would mind but his wife. And,
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
fine. You'd be great. I could see
Yeah.
you hosting films.
Oh,
why
well,
not?
thank you.
So you like do you like the bad films?
Yeah, I love bad films because like like when I watch movies, I like to find all the flaws, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
there's so many flaws.
Yeah, and
Even in good movies, there's flaws.
that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
in the bad movies, there's so many that you lose track. So, you know, you could just
Like
enjoy
Matt
it.
like they tell you, stay here, hold this pose because we're gonna pick it up there, and then you're completely on the other side. And yeah, it's crazy stuff. That's fun. I
Uh,
did a show called Prison to Go-Go. Did you see that, a film?
I'm gonna act like I did for the purpose of this interview.
Okay, so it was done like in 2004. So
Right.
not that many years ago, just 20 years or whatever. So anyway, Prison to Go-Go, and these guys, they're a young film. I mean, they're doing well now, but they filmed the whole thing on shorts. Like people didn't like film shorts. It was very impressive. But you'd
Yeah.
be doing a scene, and then all of a sudden the film would run out. So you'd be in the middle of a scene, and they had legit is it 16 millimeter? I guess it is film, and they were shooting on film instead of video because now everything's shot on video. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was good. So look up Prison to Go-Go. It's another good one.
I definitely will. I wanted to ask you, like, do you like filming stuff better on film or like with like you said, like the video, like everyone you can make a movie on your iPhone nowadays, you know what I
Well,
mean?
when I first moved to LA a million years ago, before you guys were even thought of, I loved, and I moved there for TV. I moved there to do a sitcom, and I wanted comedy. That was what I wanted. So television. So I get up all night and I'm interviewing all these major film people, and I totally could have like been in so many films. And I just was I was such a TV snob. I'm like, I don't want to do film. I don't want
Yeah.
to be in TV. I don't want to sit around a set. I want to do TV and just crank it out, like a sitcom. They tape, they rehearse all week and then they tape at the end of the week. So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted. So I always liked the medium of television better. Although I just did another film called The Throwback. I only have 3 scenes in it, but it's really cute. You need to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's all over. And who's in that? I can't remember. Who are the stars?
I know
There's-
who's in it.
Who's in it? Good. You come up.
Yeah, Rhonda Shear.
Yeah, that's good. You don't need to know any good people. The other, the other 2 are from Mad TV. They suck. You don't need to know them. Anyway, you watch The Throwback. I've got 3 good scenes in it. It's cute.
Awesome. But do
So I
you
would
think
like my answer now is that today would be the opposite. Like I wouldn't want to rehearse for a week and do a sitcom. It would take too much time. Now I'd rather just do like smaller parts in films and steal back my career that Jennifer Coolidge stole from me. She totally.
no, definitely because you were
No
like
one
the
ever calls her a
original.
bimbo. I
Yeah.
was called a bimbo, but she was never a bimbo. Let's see who's in the film. Who's in it? Oh, Will Sasso, Bobby Lee, Justina Machado, Michelle Randolph, who's becoming a big star, and Greg Sulkin and me.
Yeah. That's like I mean, you take out Bobby Lee, that's a hit.
Yeah, you're right, because he's an asshole. You can tell him that for me.
Well, I said that in a nice way.
No, he's really not that nice. He's not.
No, he's not. No.
He's really was quite nasty. Like he came, he was on the set and he said, and they filmed in Florida, which is where I live right now. And he's like, "Oh, I heard you have a very big house and you have a mansion." And he's like really asking me my age, just inappropriate. And I'm like, well, I live in a big house, but I've been working for it for the last years. It didn't just grow around me,
Yeah.
like you actually work for these things and that you enjoy. But he was like really nasty.
Yeah.
Wasn't funny. He and Will Sosa were best friends, so it didn't make my scenes were with them, and so neither one of them gave me much, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for Will. He's always been nice to me, but Bobby's always been kind of standoffish towards me. So
Yeah, Will was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't to him that much, but yeah, Bobby's too good for everybody.
yeah.
Let's see
But
who else we can trash. Have you ever seen me on Gilbert's podcast or heard me, I should say?
I have heard you on Gilbert's
It was
podcast.
dirty. It was
Yeah.
really dirty. It was like in the beginning when he first started it, bless his little heart.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a couple Gilbert questions because I only met him a couple times, but I wanted to ask because like I toured with Norm Macdonald for 9 years and he always told
Oh, you're a
yeah,
stand-up. No wonder you're the way you are.
yeah. So he always told me that Gilbert's voice wasn't really his voice. And I wanted to know, is that true or was that
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he definitely, he put it on more for
Yeah.
sure. and he was pretty quiet. I mean, he sounded like himself, but a lower version of it, definitely more to himself. You could find Gilbert sitting in the corner with his head down, counting the change in his pocket.
Yeah.
Very cheap. All of that was true about him, but he ended up marrying a lovely lady and having 2 great kids. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how he pulled that, because when I worked with him, he was still living in his mother's house, I mean, he was cheap. He was really cheap, but brilliant, truly brilliant, and dirty, dirty blue, blue, blue. No one was bluer than him.
Oh yeah. He
My
also
other
did.
uncle.
He also did the
So
best cameos.
the best cameos and the
Like,
best impressions, like all those impressions he did. Like I told him all the guys that attempted to date me or get in my pants or whatever, and he did impressions of all of them. I mean, it was, and I threw out all these old codgers on purpose because I knew he was going to go there. That was fun.
yeah. I
So
remember. I remember on that podcast, you said that you didn't get along with the what's his name, the Fonz on Happy Days.
yeah, he's not a good person either.
Yeah. So like I wanted
Because
to.
it's not that I didn't get along with them. I was doing all these happy days and they were just calling me for these little parts, these little roles, as a sexy chick or whatever. And then one time I got a commercial, like I got a national commercial. And so I was going to miss one day of the rehearsal, and like it filmed on Friday or taped on Friday, and I was missing Thursday. Well, I asked everyone. I asked the casting director, I asked the producer, I asked the director, Jerry Paris. Like I asked everyone, like I just got this national commercial, which will pay the bills. I'm a, young actress. And they're like, oh yeah, this part, we love you. You're always on here. Like, you've been with you're just basically, it was a smaller role, but I was with Fonz the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he was at the third, I guess he wasn't there Wednesday. And then Thursday he came in and he's like, well, where's Rhonda? And I wasn't there. He really got pissed. Didn't tell me. So I walked back in on Friday, ready to film, and my dressing room was gone. There was like another a girl's name on it.
So wait,
And
you got fired?
yeah, but
Oh my God.
it was his fault. I mean, he did it. He got me fired.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, when I had a book that came out called Rhonda's Up All Night, I have a really good book. You need to go to Amazon and find it.
Yeah.
It has some of those stories, but a publicist, when I was doing like the book tour, called his people and he denied it. I'm like, well, he remembers. He knows who I am. And his reasoning was, just like, he says, oh, okay, Henry wants to see you in his dressing room. So I go to his dressing room. And he's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson, because when I was in college, something similar happened to me. And so they threw me out of the play. I'm like, this isn't, I didn't say this, but to myself, I'm thinking, I was a baby. I was 23. I'm
Right.
thinking, this isn't a play. This is like really not good. And it really did hurt me. So I never got Mork and Mindy. I never got Laverne and Shirley. I never got any of those shows because of that, because they basically blackmailed me. And then Bobby Hoffman, who was the casting director, years after he was off of Happy Days, he started calling me again. But it really did hurt my sitcom career, and it was him.
Yeah.
It's totally him, and I have his email, and I really want to tell him off someday. And one day, maybe right before I croak, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But I'm
he's got.
friendly with Donnie most, and I'm friendly with, Donnie, I had a couple of dates with back in the day, and he's lovely. And, I knew they were all so nice, but it was only Henry. And like, he wanted to teach me a lesson. He didn't have to do that.
No, no, definitely. Well, I was going to make a bad joke and say, well, Henry's going to be on the Zoom in 20 minutes. So you could.
That would be great. I would just say, listen, when you hit my age, of certain age, and you're past 60, you don't give a flying fuck. You'll say anything, whatever. It's like, I wish I would have had the balls that I have now back in my Hollywood years, because I would have walked in auditions and said, but you don't. That's why they say youth is wasted on the young, because it is.
Yeah.
They'll say anything, and then that's what they want, is that confidence, and then you get hired. But
Yeah.
then you're like, ah.
Well, it's also a little weird because I also kind of have I don't have a bad experience with him. I have a bad experience with his team, which makes me feel I have a bad experience with him.
Yeah, because he's an asshole and tries to be nice.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel that, like, for the world's nicest celebrity, that's his reputation. And his publicist is like very, very mean to me.
Yeah, let's tell them that, let's get together and tell the world the truth. But I'm very vindictive right now, so I'm happy to do anything that you want to do.
Let's do it. If it helps my career to get on Barry too, I guess. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I want to be on Barry. What's the name of the lead?
It's a Bill Hader.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know him. If you go and look at my Up All Night clips, which were on YouTube under Rhonda Shear TV on YouTube, like Gene, who I'm talking about, him, my nerdy friend producer, I love him. He's like, do you know you interviewed this? I've interviewed the world. I didn't even know I interviewed Joe Rogan when he was adorable and cute and like young and whatever. But anyway, like, where was I going? I totally forgot.
You've interviewed so many people.
Yeah, but it was before that.
And you interviewed Joe Rogan.
No, but it was before that.
Oh,
This is what happens when you have a senior moment. Something about Henry.
oh, I know what you were going to say. You wish I was around back then so you could interview me.
Oh, no, what's his
Oh.
face? I do, and I'm doing that now because we'll post this all over the place. So I am interviewing you. So what's his name? Bill Hader.
Yeah,
So
Bill
Bill Hader, if you go, it's like on Google, he like blamed his career on me. Blamed it. I mean, acknowledges me, and I don't know him. Like I would love to reach out to him, but he's not on social media. He's like, if it wasn't for Rhonda Shear and watching her every Friday night, I would have had a love for this business. And I'm like, damn it, wouldn't I love to be on that show? Since he actually has said that in several places, and just go, hi, Henry, you little asshole. I mean, if he's got a mean publicist, then the people that you surround yourself with is who you are. And
exactly. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah. So that publicist who was a watchdog, who like, Henry never fired her. He didn't have the control to fire her. No, he had me fired. He had me. Actually, no one fired me. I walked in that day and they basically didn't have my room. And then they're like, well, Henry got upset because you weren't on you weren't there. My team's looking at me right now, hearing the story for the first time. I'm like, yeah, so you have to go now. He made some girl, and you'll understand this. He made a stand-in, made her SAG, like whatever you call that when they do that right away.
Yeah.
So she wasn't even Screen Actors Guild. It was to show me. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
I mean, does he own? I don't have any panties around me. Does he own? Does he own a lingerie empire? Panties and bras? No. Wait a minute. Tatiana, who's one of my Rondettes and right hand and very smart. Does he own a bra business? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
those are nice.
Probably wears my panties and doesn't tell anybody.
I know I
Probably
do.
likes the panty because it's very small in the front.
Yeah. So speaking of your lingerie business, like what gave you that idea to go into that, like to try something like that in?
Well, I reunited with my junior high school boyfriend, who was my husband, and that wasn't meant to be. Had been separated 25 years, and then he reaches out to me through classmates.com, and I was like dating every mogul in Hollywood. And now I was on this mission to get married because I was over 40. And he reaches out to me, and I was just dating for fine dining then. And I'm like, oh my God, Van Fagan, I want him to see my tits to get back at him because he broke my heart when I was 15. And so I was like really thin and in my early 40s, and I just want to show him my boobs, and then he can go back to his little country life in Lafayette. And I showed him my boobs, and 15 days later we eloped. And I don't understand that. Still to this day, I don't get it. But he was in Lafayette. I was living here. I mean, I was living in Beverly Hills, and we had to work. And at the time, I was off of Up All Night. He had just gotten a divorce, but he kind of didn't tell me the whole story either. So basically, our finances were here, and then they went. But I was still doing stand-up, and I was doing stand-up, and that was keeping us afloat for a long time. And I said, I spent a lot of time in my underwear on All Night, and people always would send me pictures of like, I want to look like Rhonda, or I love that bra, where did she get that outfit? And so I said, can you build me a website? And maybe on the side, to make money, to figure out this financial thing, we can have a website, intimate apparel. That's how it started. Then I reached out to Home Shopping Network, and a bit of luck, probably because Henry did to me, and timing was right because they knew me from the show, and they basically gave me a shot to go on air. We brought some items that I hadn't designed. We designed everything in-house now, but at the time I didn't design, and brought them in, went on the air, sold out. And they're asking me, when can you go back on air to sell? And me coming from show business, I'm like, next week. And my husband's kicking me because he understands business and going, well, we don't have any product. Product to go on in air. You just can't go on and entertain the people that are trying to buy things. So that's how it started. So we started as a team. and
Yeah.
started enterprises and started literally out of our bedroom in Beverly Hills in my apartment, and it just grew. And now we're 22 years later and still in business and having these fabulous women around me. So it was kind of a love story and kind of crazy that I would end up with the first guy that I ever kissed that took my virginity.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that
But
is,
yeah, you
that's
have to
a,
read the book. Book is
yeah,
good. It should
I-
be, it's really good. It'd be a good story. It'd be a good story for something. I don't know what, but
well, the best part about that story is you did it before like these shows like Shark Tank or whatever. You know what I mean? You did it
right.
yourself. So like that.
Right. No, it's the whole entrepreneurial thing. And that's why people go, well, you did this, you did this. And then you went from show business and this bimbo character, which was really smarter than anybody thought. And then you did stand up and you did all these things that people told you couldn't do. And then we started business that everybody told us we couldn't do either because there was too many brands out there. And then we did it again. So when people tell me no, I go, yes.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back at Henry.
No, definitely. We should. Definitely. We should.
I think we need to reach out to his publicist and tell her off.
I will send,
She is-
I'll
she's a
send you her
gatekeeper.
info. Yeah.
She's a gatekeeper.
No,
Mhm.
100%. Yeah. I'm
Wait,
down.
well, who was he with? Do we know?
I could tell you. It's on my phone somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'll text it to you. We'll get
Okay,
this done.
text me. We'll sort it out. Yes, but
Yeah.
somewhere, yeah.
But
Anyway, you know what? It was obviously a lot of years ago, but truly, this is the truth. I love helping young people. I would never do that to someone. I can never imagine doing that and hurting someone's career. If anything, I'm like, the people are like, I know that maybe they shouldn't go to LA, but I always say, go, you got to give it a try. I never like put down someone's dreams, but to do that to someone 23 and I'm crying and tears are running down my face and my parents are going to be so mad at me. I mean, that was just so mean. And that was like the height of the show was the last season. And he was a dick. I'll tell you who else was like, he wasn't mean, but did kind of creepy things was Eric Estrada. Not to me personally, but I was on the last year he was on Chips. The last
okay.
year. So I mean his head was like that. He actually became very nice and very humble years later, but I had this really nice part on Chips. And so it was myself and another girl that we were playing friends on the show. And we were on a barge in the Pacific Ocean and where a lot of the scenes were taking place. And he was just so bad. He's whispering in my ear things he wants to do with his tongue to me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like telling the girl, just don't leave my side. Don't leave me alone with him. And then he takes a bullhorn and we're on a barge. And so the producer's there, the director's there, everybody's there. And he's like, I just want you all to know that you're lucky to be here. It's because of me, Eric Estrada. I'm the star. And if it wasn't for me, and I could get all of you, he wasn't talking to me, but he was just talking to
Right.
the whole team. I could get all of you fired. He was just being an absolute asshole. I'm like, anyway, I mean, I had some
Yeah.
kids. I mean, he was never mean to me, and it worked out fine. It was actually a really, good experience, a nice part. But I'm like, with these people that get a little crazy in their head.
Do you think like because I don't know, maybe I feel like every entertainer maybe has a form of narcissism in a way, but I feel like that's crazy. You
Well,
know what
I
I mean?
think they do. And then, yeah, I think that like I look at someone like I don't know her, Kardashian, although I interviewed her mother and the father, no, her stepfather before he was a she years ago. But
Oh, Caitlyn Jenner,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
when they just got married, and I looked at her and I went, wow, I know she's gonna do things. But I mean, if you live in that kind of bubble like Kim Kardashian, and it's like a billionaire bubble like that, and you just don't have any idea of reality, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a taste of it on Up All Night with paparazzi and people and limos, a taste, but I was like always so appreciative, thinking it was so cool, but I never would be anybody but myself, but I still can't imagine when you get to that level of stardom at that crazy, when people are just clawing at you to get to you and you're surrounded by your keepers and your
Yeah.
publicists and your bodyguards. I don't know. I don't get it.
So that's
I
why
love
that's why
being
I like stand up, because stand up you're either famous in the comedy community like hardcore comedy buffs,
right.
but you don't like random people don't know who you
Hey,
are.
don't go away, it's my doctor.
Oh, okay. That scared the shit
Oh
out of me.
my God, that was so great. Oh my God, I was just like, oh, somebody's just turned up, blasted the radio. Maybe somebody's walking through the office space with their
Oh.
radio on full
Be
blast.
right back.
We'll be right back, folks. I'm just
I think this is a good time to mention our sponsors.
Go to commercial, Keith. Go to
Go,
commercial.
we're going to the commercial. Don't forget, go to www.patreon.com/RazorRiff61 and become a Rifter. And we'll be right back with Rhonda Shear.
That was amazing.
The Beavis and Butthead SNL was amazing. That's what you said.
So funny. I
Caught me
mean,
off guard. It was
I bet you
good.
anything after he showed up on his show, I mean, to the premiere of The Fall Guy, I bet you anything they're going to do a Beavis and Butthead film. What do you all think?
They should.
I was positive that was a campaign stunt. It's like, why would you go to a premiere dressed as another character other than the character in the movie that you're premiering right there? And I was like, they're making a Beavis and Butthead movie. Everyone's talking about it. Everybody, even people that
Everybody. And you know, and the funny thing is they claim that they've been wanting to do that sketch for years, but never found the right timing for it. So I thought I've watched it so many times. It's so funny. And I love him. I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan.
If they make a movie though, how cool would it be if like they put you in the movie? They're like, hey, you know.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm gonna hold my breath on that one. But you know what? I want to get an agent in Atlanta because my husband and I have a home here in Florida and we have a home in North Carolina. And the home that we have is like an hour and something away from Atlanta, and they're doing so much filming there. Like, I want an agent so that I can get senior citizen sexy roles.
Yeah, they're saying that Atlanta and Vegas and Texas are like the new Hollywood of Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, because Hollywood's a dump now. So that would be
yeah.
good. So I need to get an agent. I don't know how to get an agent. You should get me an agent. We need to reboot Up All Night. You and I need to go on the road. The only thing is
I would love that.
Now, okay, now I did Stand Up Forever.
I know, and I was gonna say you have one of my favorite jokes where a guy has like his butt crack showing, and then you take your American visa and you could just slide it in and get approved.
Oh my God, yes. Yes, I kind of okay, so I have this reoccurring dream. And here's the funny thing is I did stand up before there was women trying to be sassy and cute. It was just a weird time. I was ahead of myself. But Jenny, what's her name? Jenny McCarthy always goes, you opened so many doors for me. But I always wrote my own stuff. And that's probably why it wasn't that great. But I had the presence. I had more presence on stage than my material was. My material wasn't as good as my presence. But I should have stuck it out. But I finally, when my husband and I got married, we started this business. It's like, I just can't. I mean, I was writing really great material about my stepson and doing lap dances for him. I mean, it was really good stuff. And like wanting to kill his ex-wife. I mean, that was good. And I also like measured girls' boobs on stage. I mean, I should have stuck with it. But you have to go out and do stand up,
Yeah.
That's the only way you can work out a joke is to do it a million times. So, I don't know if you know, what's Helen's last name on HSN? Helen. You guys, I need Jean here.
Oh, I could hunt.
Helen is one of the hosts of HSN. She does stand up and she works the country. I don't know how she does it.
Helen Hong?
No, Helen Keeney.
Helen Keeney. That was going to be my 9th guess.
Helen Keeney, who she came here, brought up her daughter, works boats, works clubs, works all over the country. God bless her.
Yeah.
I mean, and she says her material is better than ever. I mean, I'm sure she's brought in a lot of her Florida life, but anyway, I love hosting shows. So I get a call from, okay, let's see, what's his name too? Do you know an agent named Roger Paul out of New York?
Yes, Roger Paul.
He's 300 years old now too, probably.
Yeah, he represents Jimmy Walker, Bobby Collins.
Yes. So Roger was my agent for years, especially during my Up All Night years. And then one time I missed a show and he got really mad at me. But he calls me like a month ago. He's like, "You still doing stand-up?" I'm like, I could host. I mean, I could totally come up with 15 minutes. Like, that's not a problem. Let me host. I said, because I used to travel with Rhonda Shear's Up All Night pajama party. And I had Carol Montgomery and all these great comics in it. And they would appear on stage in their pajamas, lingerie. you know, all these, it was just the best female comics. And then basically that would all stay on stage and everybody would be up there in their pajamas, sexy outfits, whatever. We do these sketches in between, but we would be the audience and the performers.
Yeah.
And then it was like ahead of its time because no one was doing these group shows. Now they're like huge. So I'm always ahead of my time. But you and I could do that and, you know, put Victor in it, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh.
awesome.
I was just about to ask, can I come too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we did it in Vegas. My husband produced it. It was so good. We were just ahead of ourselves. It's out there somewhere on tape. But I did love stand up and I loved doing it because people, and I loved headlining because people told me, you'll never do stand up. You're too pretty to do stand up. You'll never be able. And I loved to find people. And my name is still, somebody sent it to me, is still up in front of the Comedy Store. So that makes me happy.
So like you could call the Comedy Store and go up whenever you want because your
I
name's on.
doubt it, but my name's painted on the front.
Yeah, you just say, "Hey, my name's painted. I want to get back into stand-up." They'll
Yeah.
put you up. Yeah.
But Bud Friedman and Jamie Masada were Jamie Masada was my champion more than anybody else. And I used to put on all these nights when I first started of women in comedy would work in delis because women couldn't get stage time back then.
Yeah.
So I would create, like, I'd find someplace that we could work in front of like a hot dog or whatever, it would work. And then I'd
Yeah.
bring in people. So
I think you could get in really easily with the Laugh Factories. If you were, I mean, honestly, if these people were vouching for
okay,
you.
Victor, you need to write me a good 45. Can you write me 45 and make it really dirty?
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Are you kidding me?
Yes, I just
we
want to
will-
talk. I want to be the opposite of I am on HSN. I want to talk about penis and dick and cock and fucking and the Me Too era and how stupid the Me Too era is because I lived through it. And all you have to do is not have a meeting in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm going to go to a meeting in a hotel room. Why is he standing there with his penis hanging out of his robe?
You know,
Really? These
See,
girls
that-
are so stupid.
That's a red flag to me. Like if someone said, "Hey, come to my hotel room," like if it's not like in an office or something, I would never go to a hotel.
Listen, I had a couple of offices I had to run out of that were legit meetings, but I knew to run out.
Yeah.
These guys probably stayed and went, oh, okay, I'll do the love scene with you. What would you like me to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, it's like, yeah, there was a couple of hairier moments back then and people saying, if you don't do this, you're blackballed from the industry, but
oh my God.
I didn't. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's in my book. Got to read the book.
You gotta read the book, Victor.
And I saw Will Chamberlain's penis, which isn't a random thing.
Whoa, how cool is that? I mean, how was that? I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Very, very dark and veiny and large.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, no, because Will Chamberlain has this record of like doing a new girl
10,000,
every.
20,000.
Yeah.
No, we went to a party at let's
Oh my
see,
God.
what is her name? What is her name? Dorothy Hamill's house. I don't know why I was at Dorothy Hamill's house, but I was at Dorothy Hamill's house, who was a skater, Olympic skater. And Will Chamberlain was there and he took a liking to me. And I mean, he was very nice.
Yeah.
And then we all went back to his house for like an after party after her party. And I don't remember who I was there with, but I was alone. I mean, I didn't have a date or anything. And so he goes, let me show you. Oh, he had this triangular house and the pool undulated through the house, undulated in and out of the house. Then he
No
said,
way.
I have a secret room and you have to crawl in the secret room. So I knew this didn't seem right, but he was just showing me his house. So I crawl in the room, you had to crawl in. And all of a sudden, Mr. Ding Dong popped up. I crawled out, but I have to say he didn't try to force himself and he could have, and that would have been terrifying.
Yeah.
I think Will Chamberlain could have overpowered me, but he didn't. And he actually even drove me home.
Oh,
This
I
is
bet-
your opener. This
I
is
know,
your
this is
opener.
your
This
opening
is your
joke.
opener. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh, I've got so many,
And then-
so many jokes. And you know what's so great? Most of the guys like that I was with are dead now. So
yeah,
there's no lawsuits.
exactly.
Yeah, like I dated Glenn Fry from the Eagles and I did his video and he took me over his house. He was also very polite, but he said, little girls like shiny things. And he brings me in front of this mound of cocaine, like a mound. And I didn't find then. And I'm thinking he's going to give me a diamond ring because I'm from the South. And so I'm like, no, I can't do that. He was completely fun. I mean, I did his video, the one you love. It was great. And then 2 years later, somehow or other, we got back together. We had a date and he was drug free and he was so boring.
Yeah. Oh
But we
my
did do it
God.
once. We did do it once.
So I was gonna say that Will Chamberlain is your new opening joke, and you could say, so I didn't sleep with him, and I said it was something like, oh, and then the next day he scored 100 points. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, that's so good. Okay, so
Yeah.
you need to write for me, Keith. But here's the problem. You
Uh,
know, all these women friends of mine that are still out there doing 70, like Ludovica, they're in their they're old,
uh,
I mean, I'm afraid that I won't relate to younger audience. I mean, I know they relate to me because I have young people that work for me and they think I'm funny, but I don't think they would know who Will Chamberlain is.
oh,
Yes, they
everybody
will.
knows who Will
Everybody does.
You know
Chamberlain is.
who Will Chamberlain is? My two young girls. One of them heard of it.
Yeah. Well,
Look
uh,
up Will Chamberlain's penis
yeah.
just for fun and see how many slept with like 20,000 people. But I was not one of them, but I did get to see it. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah. You know who has the second
I
most
did
record
sneak a peek.
is Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I interviewed Charlie Sheen. I interviewed Milton Berle. I never saw his penis though. And then Red Buttons, 'cause you're a comic. And these are the kind of things I might have said on Gilbert's show. Red Buttons had a
Yeah.
thing for, and Jackie Mason, both of them, the oldest people, these old men, and they were like, and Red Buttons kept saying, and I was married then. So this is like, I've been married now 23 years, but he was like, the things I could do to you with my tongue. And you just look, it's like Red Buttons and Jackie Mason, you look in their face. Oh, and then I was on Larry King Live and he pushed me back and he was like trying to push me against the wall. He was trying me to get me into his hotel room. We had just gone out to dinner and he goes, I'm staying right here. I'm like, no. And then he just pushed me against the wall. All I could see was that Larry King face coming towards me. Like, so,
With that Spenders.
the thing is, Milton Berle's dead. Larry King is dead. Even
Yeah.
poor Glenn Fry is dead. Is Will Chamberlain dead? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been dead
okay.
forever. Yeah.
All right. So, I have a lot of dead people's story, which makes me really old, but I think they're still funny stories.
Yeah. So like another good joke is so I only sleep with the people who survive.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So
Maybe it was my lucky juice that kept them living. The
exactly.
ones that died is because I didn't feed them.
Yeah, exactly. See? I'm working magic here. I think we'll make a good team.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Are you still traveling?
Right now I open up for TJ Miller, but yeah, I'm willing to open up for you.
But some of the guys that, oh my gosh, what's his name that died? He killed himself. He was so good.
Robin Williams?
Bobby, he's on my wall. Would you go look at that picture on the wall of it's right around the bend. Why can't no, Jenner.
Richard Jenny?
So Richard Jenny and I did a lot together, a lot. And I actually had a little crush on him.
Yeah.
Never thought of me that way. I mean, we liked each other, but when he killed himself, I thought he was one of the funniest, most brilliant guys. He was so brilliant.
Yeah.
That was sad, but there was none of that hanky panky. I was trying.
Yeah.
Not hard.
I feel like there's two different types
Ken Jeong.
What?
Ken Jeong, who's now like so famous.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm a hypochondriac. You just saw me leave your show to go talk to a doctor, right?
Right, yeah.
Ken Jeong is the opening act. I don't know if I was headlining or middle act at Harrah's in Lake Tahoe.
Uh-huh.
And so he goes, I'm a doctor. Because my parents wanted me to send me to fall back on because I want to do stand-up, but the Koreans were very, they want me to marry a Korean girl and I have to have something to go fall back on. I said, oh, you're a doctor? And he went to Tulane and I'm from New Orleans. So he would bring his little doctor bag down during the show and I would make him listen to my heart and my neck and I would give him all my complaints. And that was kind of fun. Oh, and then I have one more and then I'll stop talking about myself.
No, we love it when you talk about
one that's the most famous of all right now, Maniscalco. What's his?
Sebastian.
For years, he was my waiter at the Four Seasons, and he would bring me hot wasabi nuts, as many as I wanted.
Whoa!
And he said to me, he was such a cute waiter. I can picture his little waiter outfit now, his little vest. And he would say to me, "You're so funny. How did you get into stand-up?" And I would go, "Look, another waiter who wants to do stand-up, right?"
Yeah.
And do you have any more wasabi peas?
You know what's so weird? Because I heard that exact same story, but Jerry Seinfeld said, "Hey, you want to be my opening act?"
Oh,
And that's how he got that job.
Is that true? Did he open for Jerry?
Yeah, that's how he started. But like I heard that because he was Jerry Seinfeld's waiter.
Oh, so Jerry went to the Four Seasons too? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, wait
So
a minute. Who was the other guy that used to open for Jerry for years? Mark something for years.
oh,
I can't
okay.
remember his name. Another old one, but they were
So
friends.
many Marks in this world.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing I can remember any of it because I really, when I got out of stand-up, it's like I wanted to push away from it.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like I didn't want to talk about it anymore because I love it so much. I love stand-up.
Well, I can't wait for you to do it again because I need work, so it's going to be great.
Listen, how many clubs did you have to stand around afterwards? And they would bring you in and I had the guarantee because I was on up all night and they'd be like, well, you didn't fill the place. I'm like, but yeah, but I'm guaranteed this much money and they've already paid half,
Yeah.
and they're like, and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm like, it's getting late. I had to drive home at night with some guy in a comedy mobile and
Comedy mobile.
clown car, whatever. And fucking begging for your money in these dirty comedy condos with blood on the wall and like other things that were disgusting. And I would always like pay for some cheap motel because I wouldn't stay in the comedy condo because it was so gross.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't know what's in a comedy condo.
You don't know what's in it.
Like there should be a podcast just about comedy condos.
You should do that.
Oh no, because I don't.
And then take the glow light and go around and look and see.
Oh, no.
And be like, this is Vince Champ's sperm. I don't know,
Oh
something
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah. I mean, my God, the stories I would hear. No, it was definitely a good time. So, mine was like 80s and 90s. Okay, so you probably don't know, and you probably don't know him, but I dated for 14 years a guy named Bobby Kelton, and his claim to fame was 21 times on the Tonight Show with Carson. But people like Bill Maher, I dated Bill Maher, and Bill would be like, "Why are you with him?" And I'm like, "Because he's safe." And they
Yeah.
could never figure out why I was with him, and he was just like blah. I mean, he was funny, but he could never open up and be himself like those other guys. But Jerry Seinfeld wasn't himself either. He did pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, his jokes he would clean for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone says they love Jerry Seinfeld. I'm one of those comics where like I just think he's just okay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
Because he never showed his soul. Never. I mean, I don't even know if he has one. He never did.
Yeah. Like
So I like him. I don't have any negative feelings. And one of the coolest things that happened to me is I would see Leno because all these guys would, try their sets out and they'd pop in anytime. So he'd pop into the improv. So I knew him like everybody else. He was always sweet to me.
Mhm.
And I remember getting a new Mercedes or getting his car and showing it to him in front of the improv because I was so proud of it. And he was a comedy guy, a car guy. But anyway, years later, so I won in 2012, something like that, Ernst Young Entrepreneur of the Year of Florida. So you get to go to the nationals. It's not like a beauty pageant, but anyway,
Right.
Chobani yogurt beat me, but it was like very cool. It was very cool just to be one of, an Entrepreneur of the Year. So he's been hosting that. I don't know if he still does, but he was hosting the Ernst & Young Awards for years. So I see him and I told my husband, I'm going to go backstage and see him. He says, how are you going to go backstage? I'm like, through the kitchen. That's what
Right.
that's, So I go through the kitchen and no one stops me because you got to look like you know where you're going. And I see him and he's just getting ready to go back. So he goes like that. And I'm like, I don't know if he's become weird or he really is going back on stage. So I didn't say anything and I never got to talk to him after that, other than he said hi really fast. And about a week later, he calls me and I have no idea how he got my number, but he called me on my cell phone. And I was grocery shopping. He goes, I just wanted to tell you, I was so sorry I didn't get a chance to sit and talk with you, but I am so proud of what you have done instead of like, trying to hang around Hollywood, I guess. That you went off and you did, because he knows that Ernst & Young to become Entrepreneur of the Year is a big deal. And he was just
Right.
so lovely. I had like this whole new respect for him. He was very,
Oh,
very sweet. But
that's
he was
awesome.
he was already off the show, I think, by then. But it was very cool. Maybe he was still, no, he actually was still on. He was
Yeah.
still on. It's very cool. He didn't ask me to come on though, asshole. But
Did he say, by the way, my wife wears all your lingerie products?
he didn't. He didn't.
Oh.
Mavis is not doing well. That's so sad.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. I shouldn't
Oh,
have made
that's
that.
sad. That's so sad.
Oh.
But yeah, so like it was kind of interesting because I got into it at that time where those big guys that were in front of me, but You know, I knew the Carol Leafers and
Oh yeah. I think
uh,
Carol's great.
oh yeah, great. I mean,
Yeah.
I started after all of them for the most part. What happened to Paula Poundstone? Is she still out there?
Oh, she's one of my favorites. Oh my
Oh, I
God.
love her.
Yeah. She does like theaters now and she never responds to anyone's tweets. So yeah.
What about Rita Rudner? Because she owned Vegas for a while.
I love Rita Rudner. I
Love her.
interviewed Rita Rudner.
I love her. To me, she was my kind of. I totally loved her.
Yeah,
Is she
yeah.
still working? Is she still working?
She does South Point in Vegas every now and then, but she mostly like tries and writes movies and plays and
Oh,
stuff.
she was. I mean, she lived. I mean, she had that. You know, she stayed in Vegas at residency for years. Like
Yeah.
New York or one of those. Yeah, she was there for a long time. Yeah, I mean, those were my kind of favorites. And then my mentor, who I love, was Joan Rivers, because
Oh, Joan was great. Yeah.
I used to do her talk shows all the time, and she loved me. She'd put me on there, kind of doing gossip reporting, and all these rumors about that I was with Larry King, and then I was with Burt Reynolds, and she would always have me on whenever these salacious rumors would come up that none were true.
Yeah. My friend did a movie with Joan Rivers and I asked her what was the best part about the movie because it was her movie. And she
Yeah,
said she's like the movie sucked, but Joan Rivers was my mom, so that was cool.
so cool. And she used to do shopping television too. She had a million products. I mean, she liked making money. Joan liked making money. I love her. I thought she was just, that was very sad of her past. Another one that passed too early. Yeah, those were my gals. But Rita Rudner, and I tell you the other one, not my favorite. I mean, funny, but I met her back when I was just starting in New Orleans. It's Ellen DeGeneres, who started in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
Saw her at a couple of clubs. They were like jazz clubs, and she'd go on and do a set. And she was so funny when she was young, but she wasn't nice.
No, that's the thing. Like when that just came out, like it's kind of like the Bill Cosby thing. Like I think comics kind of knew it was going on. Comics knew Ellen's not really that nice.
Wasn't nice. I tell
It's
you
like
who
a
was
TV
very
act.
sweet. Roseanne, sweet, nice. She was always sweet. I did her show. So I mean,
It
I haven't seen
depends
her.
which personality you're
Oh,
dealing
that's
with
sweet.
her though.
Could
But
get one of the
yeah.
other ones. That's true. But yeah, I mean, I never really had, it was just kind of interesting. I maybe didn't have a lot of respect from some of them because of what I was trying at a time when, people weren't going out on stage in the 90s with short dresses, big boobs and big hair. But I still, like these big agencies would go, I don't know what to do with you. I'm like, just book me. And I
Yeah,
ended
yeah.
up opening for a lot of people. Like, so that was fun. I'm like, just keep doing that. Let me just grow. And all those girls that I started with that were lousy, I mean, I will not mention names, but they just stuck with it so long that they all got good. Because I mean, if you keep doing stand-up long enough, you're not going to
You're
stay.
gonna get something.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get something, or you're gonna, not be able to handle it and leave, but they're all still doing it. Like all these girls I started with, they're still out there pounding the pavement. And I have to say, I don't know how they do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's because I had a taste of the other side.
Uh,
Because you're gonna write for me, you're gonna write my act, and we're gonna do only high-class theaters.
Okay. We gotta get a Vegas residency. I think that'd be cool.
We could do that, but now you have to pay for them, and you have to four-wall them now.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. We'll go on the road. That sounds better.
We'll start us in theaters like here in the Mahaffey Theater. We'll get some of the smaller theaters. My girls here will book me,
All right.
and it'll be great.
All right. Well, I have three more questions for you, and I want
Okay.
to respect your time. But
Yes.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about Spaceballs because that is actually a great movie, and you were in
It
Spaceballs.
was so funny because I auditioned to be the waitress in that scene, and Mel Brooks auditions everybody.
Yeah.
Like even for the smallest role, you have to audition in front of Mel Brooks. And so I auditioned, and at the time I had dark hair. Yeah, dark hair. And he goes, well, I want the waitress to be blonde. And I'm like, he goes, I really like you, but I want her to be, I'm like, well, I'll wear a wig. And he goes,
Yeah.
no, just show up to the set and we'll find something for you. I think you're really funny. Just show up. And that's what happened. I showed up to the set in my own red rubber dress. And he threw me the line, I'll have the Luna fish sandwich. And it's hard to believe that more people know me from that than I think anything I've ever done, except maybe Up All Night.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
But
insane, it's like, because there's these, and these crazy people that follow it and know every word.
oh
So
yeah, hardcore hardcore.
But he
we call-
did, he auditioned, and I got a lot of other comics to audition for it too, because I was dating Bobby. He auditioned, didn't get it. Tom Dreesen. I think I got Tom Dreesen in, or if I didn't get him in, there was a bunch of comics that had little parts in it that I did get. Oh, the reason why I got them in is because there was the casting director for Disney he didn't do anything for me, but he liked me. He always wanted to date me. And so he was casting that film, Bill, and I can't remember his last name. It'll come up in the credits. But no, I did a lot of stuff for Playboy and it was all good. I mean, layouts.
yeah.
And Bill,
I wanted to tell you that, by the way. Your work in Playboy was great.
I met Bill at the mansion and he was always lovely and always nice. And when that film came along, Spaceball, I'm like, why can't you really like me? Why don't you just have me audition? I think it's because he thought, well, I did like me and it would look bad. I'm like, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to date your old ass if you don't put me in something. But I can say that to him now and he's dead. So I can say that now. But he did have me audition for that. And then they were looking for comics. So I put a lot of comics in front of them.
Oh, nice. And then question number 2. This is
Unlike Henry, I liked helping people.
Yeah. And you're helping us with this podcast and making me go on the road with you. That's help.
So good. This is so good. I like it. Really love it.
So question number 2, and this is like one of those like hypothetical questions.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
Hypothetically, if I was around back in the early days.
Oh yeah, you would have been part of it.
Yeah. Would we like hang out and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you would have been one of my regulars for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Would have been a regular. It's funny, during Up All Night, we did 465 shows and we used the same people over and over and over. Of course, we didn't have a budget. The only one I paid was Cato Kalin because there was so much press around him with the OJ Simpson thing. But
I love Cato.
Oh, Cato's great. I was gonna say you can have him on. He's funnier.
He's one of my best friends. Or he used to be one of my best friends.
Love him. Love him. Yeah, I just got him on a couple of news programs. People were calling me from different, don't ask me how I know people at national news channels, and they were calling me, did I know OJ? Well, I didn't know OJ, but I knew everybody around that case. I knew people who testified. So I said, you got to use Cato. And so he did a couple of, it was good. And I was really happy to see him showing off, being serious. Of course, he's funny, but that he got such a bad, it really hurt his life, much like the Henry Winkler thing hurt mine.
Oh, definitely.
I did a line of loungewear with Cato called Slackers. It never took off, unfortunately, but I love Cato. So he's a great guy.
Well, it probably didn't work.
Total. As a matter of fact, we did a couple of reboots. I mean, just for fun, we did a couple of Up All Nights. It didn't go anywhere, but just for YouTube and whatever. And Cato did 1 or 2 with me. So when he was down here, when we were working on the line, great guy.
Oh yeah. I was going to say that the line probably didn't work because you and Cato are not slackers. You guys are hard workers.
Well, he was the one that came up with the name slacker because he said everyone called him a slacker, even though he really wasn't. But it was he's very self-deprecating as I am. And it was cool for him to do that. They had pockets, these long pockets that had coating in them because you could keep your chips in there and slack around, and you could keep your TV remote in there. And he was funny. He really came up with the whole line and the logo.
Oh, nice.
Who knows? Maybe we'll reboot that along with Up All Night and we'll all 3 go on the road.
That would be awesome. That's our dream.
Yeah.
And then my last question is, if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, it could be from yesterday or 20 years ago, what advice would you give yourself what you know now?
Get pregnant and have a baby.
Oh.
I never had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
But I have 4 chihuahuas. I don't know. I would have said to stand up to people more. I definitely think standing up, but you that's what I'm saying. You can't do that when you're young because you're so afraid. And back then people actually had respect for elders, unlike now when no one cares about elders and just beats them up and throws old people on the ground. But I would have said just be more ballsy.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that and you didn't say, hey, you should sleep with Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh no, I don't regret not sleeping. Although let me tell you, if I would have slept with some of the people that went through my life, truly huge, Jeff Zagansky and Chris Albrecht, the people that came through my life that sat in front of my door wanting to get in at 3 a.m, not break in, but hang out. If I would have been a huge star, but I couldn't go the route. Couldn't go the
Yeah.
route. Couldn't do
Well,
it.
Well, I think you're a huge star in my eyes. Where can the folks at home follow and support you at?
Everywhere. Where? RhondaShear.com. Look, my girls are waking up. My social media at Rhonda Shear Intimates, at Rhonda Shear, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We do a live show every Thursday night on every place. It's called
Oh.
Rhonda Shear Social Hour, and we run old clips. You can find it on even on LinkedIn. So yeah, you can find and go to Rhonda Shear TV and subscribe on YouTube, and if you see some really kinky, bizarre shit that I did in my life. A lot of beautiful pictures too, pubic hair back in the day, all that stuff. It's coming back in. Don't laugh.
No, it is definitely.
I don't like it,
Yeah.
but it's coming back in.
Yeah. But thank you so much for rifting with us. It meant the world to me.
Oh, this is the only thing I like doing. I hate questions that are just like, I like it. I like riffing. I like riffing or whatever. But let's do it again and stay in touch.
Yeah, definitely. And I can't wait to open for you. I'm actually really going to hold you to that because
you need to write me some material so I can probably get us the gig. I need some material.
All right. Well, we're going to start writing for you now.
I'll have Tatiana and Grace send their information and send you some bras. If you were a girl, I'd be sending you bras, but since you're not, I'm not sending you shit. But
I probably could fit in a bra. Yeah.
Well, maybe you know what we'll do? We'll send them books and a t-shirt. We'll send you some shit. So just send me all your information.
We will. Well, thank you so much, Rhonda. It was an awesome pleasure.
Love staying up all day with you guys.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Victor.
See you later, Rhonda. Awesome talking to you.
Bye.
All right. Cool.
All right. I'll let you take over from here.
We got it.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. And they're gone. All right, guys. Subscribe.
I thought she was going to do a promo. I thought she was going to be like, yeah. So you can get Rhonda Shear at RhondaShear.com. And you can, I mean, come on, man.
Well, subscribe, rate, review. That was a great episode. And I'm in love.
I'm in love and intrigued, man, because wow, she's so funny. I'm like, I thought she was still touring, with how funny she is. Like, she's so great and modest and humble and just, oh gosh, she's so funny, man. She's so great.
The best part is she said if I was alive back then, she would be all over me like honey on a bee.
Keith, she said you guys would hang out and you'd be part of a crew.
Oh.
Which is the same thing in my book. I'm like,
yeah, that's the same thing as it's a win.
No, because dude, she's such a cool sister that even if she didn't like you romantically, if she did like you, she'd be like to her hot friends, be like, "Hey, this is my friend Keith.
Yeah,
he's a great guy."
And they'd be all over me like a honey and a bee. All right, guys, we'll see you next week on Reza Riffs.